coming at you with something a little different today. We are back looking at Bitcoin. If you're a part of the elite few who follow the channel, we looked at this yesterday, though today we will be going over some of the market cycles that have occurred for Bitcoin and what we could expect in upcoming downside in some sort of perhaps worst case scenarios here. We go with the flow of crypto and we watch out for EngineeringRobo. Be prepared for any situation by watching out for the confirmations. So as we all know, we've been under the influence of bearish robos ever since the beginning of April here. We have been saved from this, most recent sort of correction that has followed 37% in downside over the last month, ever since that sell 4 and HE double hockey sticks combination. Bearish robos in play back in November, saving us from the crippling crypto correction that started it all from all-time highs back near the $70,000 level roughly. EngineeringRobo turned bearish near $57,000 and saved us from 42% in downside that has followed. And technically at our lowest, we've experienced 53% in downside ever since bearish robos back in November here. So we are just patiently waiting for the return of bullish parameters so we can begin comfortably investing back into Bitcoin. Though if you stick around till the end, you'll see the fear and FOMO zone suggesting, during times of extreme fear here, we are, suggested to be accumulating with a perhaps longer term bullish perspective in play. So right now, we are waiting to invest 20% at our, determined support level. We have visualized these horizontal lines down below waiting for us. Technically, we have levels reaching as low as $18,860 based on my support and resistance strategy. We can invest 20% once support has been determined. 30% will be invested once daily candles find themselves above this descending trend line, whenever that may be, and 50% can be invested back into Bitcoin when EngineeringRobo returns to a bullish state. Now, if we bring it back roughly 802 years ago tomorrow, back in 2011, we can see Bitcoin trending upward here above the 20 period moving average. We have bullish robos in play suggesting upside, though we are met with some abrupt downside, the crippling correction that followed before sideways and consolidation that occurred. We had bearish robos coming into play, and 93% in downside occurred from the swing high all the way to the lowest swing low there, before trading sideways into 2012, where we interacted with both the 50 and 20 period moving averages, but it wasn't until weekly candles found themselves above both of those trend lines, combined with bullish robos and volume support, we see confluence suggesting upside. After trading hilariously sideways throughout 2012, we can see 2013 met with some tremendous upside, leading all the way into 2014, where the market peaked and we were met with bearish robos and over 80% in downside that followed. That led us into the next phase of sideways, where we can see the next bull cycle starting, supported by bullish robos and bullish confluence from our strong moving averages here, suggesting upside is to follow, when Bitcoin was a dramatic $323. 2016 started off with some gradual moves upward here until the market peaked. Eventually we were met with bearish robos and over 80% in downside again, before we traded relatively sideways here. Far more dramatic movements through this range, and then bullish robos throughout the 2020 here. Suggested the most recent bull market we've just participated in, where Bitcoin had staggeringly increased to the more recent $69,000 all-time high. We came from, back in 2020 there, bullish Robo suggesting upside. The moving averages crossed upward, and the market trended nicely until we were met with this, scary range of sideways throughout 2021 that we've had to undergo, printing these very bullish all-time highs. And at the moment, based on current prices of Bitcoin, it is lower than where it is represented in this screenshot. We have printed a rather unsightly lower low relative to some of these moves throughout 2021. So we are just potentially anticipating if significant bearish robos in play, bearish significant moving averages in play could suggest a far more dramatic correction, perhaps toward this lowest moving average down below. A 72% correction is potentially possible for Bitcoin to experience in the upcoming weeks to months here before we make our way upward to what is still to be a soon to be revealed six-figure level that we anticipate presenting itself whenever it is ready. Though in the immediate short term here, continued slappening is what's happening. For an asset to increase by hundreds of upon thousands of percentages upward, it will have to decrease by tens of percentages downward for us to maintain this type of growth. Though in my opinion, Bitcoin has been in a rather aggressive uptrend since its inception, and these pullbacks and retracements are very much necessary, perhaps a necessary evil we have to undergo to maintain this dramatic upside. By now, as we can see, during times of extreme fear here, we are interacting with EngineeringRobo's fear zones, suggesting some very nice prices to be accumulating with a longer term, uptrend in mind. We can see a previous instance back in 2020 there before this, most recent bullish, move upward, coming from, lows near $3,877 per Bitcoin. We traded within the fear zone all the way up to just about $7,000 per Bitcoin. We then proceeded to experience roughly 10x in gains, peaking just under $70,000 per Bitcoin, and we have yet to see the FOMO zone. Here we are returning to the fear zone, presenting yet another opportunity that could suggest perhaps not a 10x before the next FOMO zone interaction, though from the fear zone here, perhaps when we leave it to the FOMO zone would be another 400%, in upside from all-time highs to the FOMO zone. That would roughly be another 165% in gains. And so in my opinion, that is very much possible and doable for Bitcoin here in the coming future. In the immediate short term, obviously, downside and or sideways may play out as we go with the flow of crypto here. Though in the longer term, I very much anticipate interaction with that FOMO zone. $184,000 per Bitcoin is going to be a far more reasonable market top for you to be considering selling your position and taking some profits. Granted, if you were buying in the previous fear zone here, feel free to have capitalized on any of this upside along the way. You are certainly far away from being down on any of your investments. If you were buying near 6K, selling at 30K would still be capitalizing on gains. Though at the moment, I see this as another buying opportunity to then anticipate higher levels to exit. We can see that this is technically the third instance interacting with the fear zone before we've seen the FOMO zone, because the last time we've interacted with the FOMO zone was back in the market top near 2018. And so when we are in the FOMO zone, we do anticipate prices leaving it eventually. Price action may, surpass it, enter up within it, trade within it for a period of time, though exiting the FOMO zone is likely, and interacting with the fear zone is likely as well. So that's what we anticipate here moving forward. And as we can see, tremendous gains and upside as we interact with the fear zone in such a bullish manner, technically ever since 2018. November of 2018 was when we first started interacting with the fear zone, and it has been, presenting bullish buying opportunities for us ever since. But at the moment, we just go with the flow of crypto. Can't really say that enough here. We just go with the flow of the confirmations, no matter the situation. Let me know down below your thoughts and feelings, though, on cryptocurrency currently. It's fun to discuss how we feel in the matter. Extreme fear is present, and many think, continued downside and or zero is coming. Highly unlikely, but right now we just wait for the signals. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for hearing my analysis, and tune in for the next one.